between tracks, between tracks, between tracks.
Actual morning. I'm writing a little bit at the moment. But today we're chilling. I took my dog for a walk and I went for a run. That was good.
Nice. What kind of dog do you have?
A massive golden retriever, like the biggest one that you've ever seen. He's oversized for some reason. I don't know why, but he's just the biggest goldie ever.
Oversized as in overfed or just
No, just massive. Yeah,
big
yeah,
bone?
not fat, just a massive dog.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So have you had time to like wind down yet from your Australia and New Zealand shows? They were sold out, right?
Yeah. We were sold out in Brisbane, and we had a massive one in Auckland. And what was the other one? Perth was on a Sunday night, so that wasn't sold out, but it was still kind of big
Yeah.
for a South African band in Perth on a Sunday night, I guess. Yeah, it was very cool. It was in like a whirlwind trip, very quick in and out, travel, play the shows, and get back. I came back. The next day, I went to a festival in Oudtshoorn with my family. So I packed up the car, drove for 4 hours, went to another festival for a couple of days, came back, and yeah, we always we're writing at the moment. So I'm writing for my solo vibe when I have a chance, and we're writing for Fokofpolisiekar when all of us can get together. So there's constantly something happening in between as well. There's no rest for the weekend.
I was gonna say, it's such a big honor chatting to you. It almost feels a bit surreal because obviously growing up in South Africa, I'm so used to like listening, seeing you on the TV, listening to you on the radio on the way to school with various projects because we know you've had so many different groups and bands and things over the years. So it's really lovely that you agreed to say yes. So thank you so much.
Wow, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it's really special. Do you have a like special venue or country that you played in? Because the vibe is different, right? Like I know.
Yeah, I think for us, Pretoria is always special. I mean, if we talk South Africa, we're from Cape Town. I don't know where your viewers or peeps that are watching this are, but we're from Cape Town, and Pretoria always felt like a different country when we were kids. It felt like super far away. It's like 1,200 kilometers from Cape Town, and we've just been welcomed in Pretoria since we started Fokofpolisiekar in 2004 in a big way. I think people there are very much into live music. There was a big kind of alternative scene when we started playing there. And yeah, it's just been growing through the years. I do my biggest show every year. I do an arena show, one arena show a year in South Africa. And we do it in Pretoria because that's our biggest fan base there. So I guess Pretoria, I guess that venue is a very special venue for me because I've been doing this arena show there for 6 years. And I think that it's the Sunbet Arena in Pretoria, a very special place for me.
Nice. It's always interesting. Like obviously, I'm not a performing artist, but just going as like tour management and a manager, it's always nice seeing different audiences, even like in different cities. You know the reactions because I know last year was it last year? I manage a Brazilian band, and they absolutely love playing in South Africa because I think the people are quite similar. Brazilians are like very expressive and they're quite like loud and they shout and they dance and they scream and and so they love the South African crowd because
cool.
It's very like hyped up and yeah, there's the indie scene and the alternative rock scene is beautiful in South Africa. A lot of people don't talk about it internationally, but there's so many. I would say we could do with better venues, but the bands coming out are beautiful. It's great.
No, there's very cool music. I mean, international kind of breakthrough stuff, I guess, in the alternative side is maybe not that many. I mean, maybe the Antwoord really cracked
Yeah.
it internationally, and Cedar as well, like a couple of years before them. Um, but yeah, I think there's a lot of cool music coming out of South Africa. Um, there's a kind of a healthy scene. It's just like a South African band that sing in English kind of need to crack it internationally, because otherwise there's just not enough stuff for them to do in South Africa. There's not enough.
Yeah.
They can't develop
else.
anymore. You know, you kind of start
Yeah.
headlining all the
And then
festivals,
you
and then it's like,
plateau.
where do you go from here?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite hard to find a way out of South Africa for alternative bands, and it doesn't happen for a lot of them,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But I think it's also, we were talking about this the other day, I think it's also unfortunate because it's quite hard with like visas for South Africans, and you're working against the exchange rate almost
Yeah.
wherever you go. So it is pretty difficult. I don't know how we would change that. Like, I don't know if it's funding or I'm not sure how they can.
Yeah, it is quite hard. Like I know for me, touring internationally, if we book stuff ourselves without a promoter, which we also do, you know, you kind of put money up
Yeah.
and risk it kind of before you go.
Yeah.
And you know, the risk is there that you just go lose money that you make back at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is a tough one to take that risk and actually go play shows internationally. And yeah, the exchange rate is definitely a issue
Not in
that
our favor.
yeah, it is hard. And yeah, you got to have a visa for everywhere. I mean, it also makes the mission a lot more complex and hard to kind of get around it financially. So funding, and yeah, there's not really any funding for kind of alternative music or in South Africa. Not that I am aware of, you know.
Yeah. No, definitely not. It's a shame because, like you said, there's so much potential. What would you say on the topic of like touring and stuff? What would you say is the most enjoyable part about performing or being on tour for you?
Yeah, I think that is the most enjoyable part, is actually being on stage. I always tell people like at least I really enjoy what I do. So I get to enjoy an hour and a half of my day when I'm on tour a lot. You know, the rest of the time can be super tedious. You know, sitting around waiting, traveling, you know, those things really suck. And the older I am and the older my kids are, the harder it becomes to travel. It becomes to be away from my family. You know, when you're young, when I was in my 20s, it was the ideal. You know, you want to be away from where your situation's pretty shit and you're sleeping on a mattress in a yellow room. You want to get away from that, be on the road with your boys, party the whole day. You know, and play shows. That's the ideal in your 20s. But if you're like me, mid 40s, it gets kind of complicated if you want to be at home, if you want to be in a house that you like, you live in a place that you like, if you want to be with your family, then it gets harder for sure. But I really enjoy playing still, and that makes the road. It makes it easy that being on the road is important to my job, because I at least like that hour of actually doing what I do.
Do you get, because I mean, you've been playing since you were how old? 14, 15? When was your first show? Around 15?
My first show, I was 15 years old. Yeah, it was in 1996. It's actually I stay in a place called Bellville. It's in the northern suburbs of Cape Town. The first show was really, literally down the road
you
from
live there now?
my house.
Bellville?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, sweet. Nice.
Yeah, I did my best to get away from Belleville and got married and moved back to Belleville.
I was gonna ask you because I was listening. You were reading parts of your book the other day, but I saw it's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
in English now. And it was the part where you were talking about being bored, right, from the weekends. And I was gonna
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
you, is that sort of what inspired you or like forced you to start music? Were you always sort of into music? Did you always know you wanted to go that route?
No. I grew up. I grew up in quite a musical family. I mean, my folks can both kind of sing. My sisters both sang. Like I guess like solo kind of microphone singing and choir stuff.
Yeah.
But I was never interested in it at all. Like I just wanted to play rugby. I just wanted to play sport. I had no interest in like singing or the arts or anything like that. And then when I went to high school, it was like the grunge era. So I fell in love with, Nirvana in a big way. I mean, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, older kind of alternative stuff like Violent Femmes and the Pixies and the kind of the pop punk stuff of the time, like Green Day and Offspring. And I fell in love with music and I just wanted to start a band. That was like my mission. And I was in my first band when I was 15. It lasted one show and caused embarrassment for years after. But since then I've always wanted to be in a band. You know what I mean? It's that's where I fell in love with it, and I just wanted to play guitar because of those guys.
I like to ask people if they had that like aha moment where they're on stage or in the studio where they realize, okay, shit, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I think I actually had that moment. I've been playing in bands since I was 15, and when I was like 23 years old or 22, we started Fokofpolisiekar, and we worked on that for about 8 months until we kind of recorded the EP. We recorded the EP before we played any shows. All of us were in bands before, so we tried to do it kind of right in our minds at that time. So we wanted to have a product out before we started playing, and we were marketing it like 8 months before. Since we started practicing together, we started marketing the band and trying to get the name out there. And when I was singing in the studio, I think it was kind of the first time that I could properly hear the guitars. In a band, we only played in a band room before.
Loud.
Yeah, we did that. We recorded some stuff on a cassette tape. You know what I mean? So it was like, it sounded very rough, our demos. But the first time I was in the studio, I could hear the guitars properly and I could hear what the song is becoming. And when I got into the vocal booth and the first night that I started singing in, and it was kind of the first time that I was a lead singer in a band too, since that first band that I was in when I was 15, it was the first time I was a lead singer again. So I was like super, super nervous and completely stoned the first time I tracked vocals. So it was like, it's a fuck up. So the engineer told us go home and come try again and the next morning. So the next morning I wasn't stoned and it kind of went kind of well. And I think that day when I was tracking vocals, I could hear everything properly in the studio. I was like, okay, this could become something. This could be my career for the foreseeable future. And I mean, it's 23 years later. 23 years later.
I always say, time goes by so quickly, but it really does. Like the older you get, it just flies by.
It does.
And I can imagine when you're a father and when you have kids and stuff, it's probably way quicker as well.
If you see your kids grow up in front of you, it's insane. I mean, it's like, it feels like 10 years go like this or 5 years go like that. I feel like you need to do shit now. Before it's too late.
Wait around. You say that you're quite self-critical when you hear your work back. Like once you get your mixes or your masters back. Or is it difficult or not really? Is it more like of a fun thing for you?
Yes, like it. I kind of work um, hand in hand with whoever's working. Like if it's the guy that's mixing or mastering, I'll probably be
Sitting
involved
next to them. Okay.
all the way. Not sitting next to them, but listening to the process. So I will never hear something kind of when only at the final mix or a
Okay.
final master. So I'll be
Yeah.
involved all the way. But the coolest thing for me about making music is that eventually I can lie in my bed and put my headphones in and listen to it by myself.
Mhm.
And when it's done, you start with this thing maybe in a room in this room, and then I take it to someone I write with and a producer, and we'll work together and record it, and it'll get mixed, and then it'll get mastered, and eventually when I can lie in my bed and listen to it, that's my happiest
Yeah.
part
It is
of creating the tunes.
Yeah, it is a nice feeling. Like you would think that because with the band I managed, the artists I managed from Brazil, we were both executive producers on the project, and I was in the studio from the beginning. So obviously you hear the stuff, you hear the stuff over and over and over, and you would think that you would kind of be sick of it by the time you listen to the mastered version. But it's just never the case. It's always like I don't know, it's such a beautiful experience. I always get like...
Yeah, I think because it's always kind of developing until it becomes the final thing. I guess when it's the final thing and I listen to it in my bed, and then I'll probably listen to it a couple of times until it is released, and then I'll probably stop listening to it when the world
coming out.
when the world listens to it, then I'm like, okay, cool, on to the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I really enjoy listening to the stuff that I've created with my mates or whoever. And obviously you do that because you like the stuff. Hopefully people make music that they like and they want to hear. And I listen to it because of that. And then I'll probably stop when, the world hears it and I'm working on something else.
Yeah. It's funny how that works. It's like once it gets put out to the public, you're almost like detached from it.
Yeah, that's yours now. If you like it, I will play it forever. If you don't like it, we'll forget about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Do you have some favorite songs that you like to play live? Do you have some?
Yeah,
a better question. Are there ones that you don't enjoy playing because they're difficult?
Yeah, there's those as well. Like I just said, I'll keep on playing the ones that the people like forever because of the reaction that you get. For me, I guess the songs that the people connect with the most, those are the ones that I would like to play forever. There's a song called "To Vind Ek Jou" that kind of really changed my life. It was it's on my debut solo album, and it's just a song that kind of took me from an underground place and connected me to a vast majority of people. Like my parents would never want anything to do with my tunes until their friends kind of started listening to this song. Then they were like, okay, my son is probably fine now. You know what I mean? Sure. So that one, I'll always want to play it because people connect with it so much. Song called Bathroom in Suburbia. That's actually about me growing up in the burbs and about living in Bellville and then going away from Bellville and ending up back here. There's also kind of life changing in a way. I love playing that one because of how people respond to it. Yeah, and there's a couple of those tracks through my life, through Fokofpolisiekar that just connect with people, and I love to play those. And then there are definitely ones that I don't want to play because it's too heavy on my voice. And when I was younger, I would just go
challenging.
When I was younger, I would just go and scream that shit like for a week and lose my voice. Now I don't really want to fuck up my voice so bad. So I'll steer away from the very challenging things. Luckily, they aren't my biggest songs, you know.
Yeah. How long does it take once your set starts for you to like fully relax, or are you like chilled once you start on the first song?
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it depends on what it is that you're doing. You know, when I'm playing with my band Fokofpolisiekar or with my band Gevaar, that's the band I play with solo. It's like we do this all the time. I'm relaxed from the first cymbal that goes. You know what I mean, or the first kick drum that plays. You know, because we do it all the time and we're used to it. But if we do something that's foreign, you know, or like play in a stadium opening for Green Day or something, or playing songs that we're not used to, or I'm performing something like on a stage with another band that I'm not used to. Then those things can
way in the back of your mind.
Yeah, for sure. Like then I'll be nervous. But if I'm doing what I'm used to doing, I don't really get nervous, or I don't need to get into it. I can be in there from second one. But other things might take time. We might get through a song and be off stage again before you're really comfortable, you know?
Really comfy, yeah. I guess in your case, you've had so much experience doing this, so it's like second nature, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Like just like playing a lot with the same people gets you really
comfortable. Yeah.
Comfortable. Yeah. Like if I play, you know, one of the songs that I play with my band Gevaar, if I had another band play that song with me, which has happened in the past, so like on I don't know what you call those things, like a variety show, with different artists that kind of they just put you with this house band or something. That has happened. Then it's not that comfortable. You know, if you play with people that even if it's the same song, it's not.
Yeah.
They don't play it like your band plays it. You know what I mean?
Also,
so yeah.
I think it's also the thing of when you've been playing in a band for so many years, you know that the person's got your back. Like when there's a little mistake or something, I don't know, there's just that like ease of everyone's like in it together and rooting for each other. Whereas when it's new, I guess you just don't have that level of confidence in them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just don't play it the same. They don't feel the same about the song as, you know, the other guys that you play with do. Yeah, it's just not the same thing. But I really like if I go on stage with either of those two bands playing songs that we know, I'll be in it from the first minute, and I'll be able to turn it on from moment one. I mean, when I was younger, I used to drink a shitload, and that would turn it on for me. You know, I stopped drinking like more than 10 years ago. Now I need to kind of just turn it on myself because I don't have the crutch of alcohol to help me, you know, turn it on. I have to kind of turn it on myself. But I mean, it's almost like I can tap into that thing easy because I've done it the other way for very long too.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you how, because I mean, drinking on tour or just playing live is such a normal thing, especially like drinking quite excessively. I think it's, even me speaking from my own experience, I think it's pretty natural because it is such a stressful thing being on tour, right? It's like the whole day, it's a very go high sort of intensity. It becomes very normal to have some drinks before the show, after the show, whilst you're on the road, whether it's weeks or months. I know I can't do that much anymore just because firstly, it makes me feel like shit the next day, the older I get. And also, it makes me quite anxious. I think people react differently to alcohol. Do you think that since implementing like a healthier type of lifestyle, it's changed the way you perform and also create, or not really?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I used to partake in the party as hard as I could on the road. And if I'm anxious, I would just climb back in again. You know what I mean? And I'll kind of try and chase. Yeah. And eventually you're going to crash, but you'll keep it going for as long as you can. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't live like that. And I tried. I tried for very long to do it and to, there's that Kiss song, I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. You can't. You can't. You can't. They're lying. They're lying. It just does not actually work. I really tried to do those two things, rock and roll all night and party every day. It doesn't work. And it kind of caught up with me. For me, it was just like as a young musician, I just wanted to live out my freedom. You know what I mean? I wanted to show the world that I am free and I'm doing whatever I want and I'm getting as fucked up as I can because I can, you know? But it caught up with me and became a negative thing eventually. So, it turned negative and I just kind of pushed through it for, another bunch of years where it was like, a night would not end. Something bad had to happen. Okay. There will I'll fight with someone or, end up in a cop van or I'll fuck up the show or, you know what I mean? Like something bad will happen. Yeah. And eventually I just realized it's like time to quit because it's also on the road it was becoming like more about the party than about the show, and that's not really why I started playing music because I wanted to make music, and then eventually being on tour was like about how will I get fucked up tonight, more about how are we going to play tonight,
Yeah.
So I had to quit.
How does that work when you're traveling in a team with other people that drink? I hope you don't mind me asking.
No, that's all good.
How does that sort of work with boundaries? Are you all right to be amongst other people, like having drinks, or do you like to keep that out of your tour bus? How does that
No,
work?
I'm cool with people drinking around me. But I mean, I've been sober for a long time, but I had to learn how to do it on the road with people drinking around me. That was the only way that I could become sober. I remember I got sober on the 1st of September, and the 18th of September was my birthday. And then I was on the road and people brought me bottles of champagne on stage and shooters. And I was just like, no. And I was like 17 days sober. And then after that, I was like, okay, if I could say no there, I can probably do it again. And, I guess for a couple of years, it was really hard to say no and felt like I'm missing out on the party. But eventually, now I don't even realize I don't drink if people drink around me. Yeah. So it gets easier over time.
Makes sense.
But I mean, I don't hang out after shows very late. I mean, if my band wants to hang out, they more than allowed to. They just have to find their own way back to the hotel because the bus is leaving.
Time to go to bed. I think it's like something people don't realize. We always talk about this, how taxing it is on your body. Like, because I don't know, like you obviously traveling all day. You're like stressing about getting to the venue. Well, I don't know if you stress. I know the tour managers.
Yeah, for sure.
By the time we open our eyes in the morning. But yeah, it's like then you get back to the hotel, then you're like trying to unwind because obviously the adrenaline rush. Like I know for me, I'm sitting in bed. I'm not even the person playing, and I'm sitting in bed, and my head's like going, and it usually takes an hour or two just to like come down from that. Then you go to sleep, then you wake up to get on the bus again. It really is taxing on your body, I think, at least.
Yeah, It is very taxing. Like touring in South Africa works a little bit different, I guess, than touring with a band. I guess if you, I'm not sure how it works in Brazil, but I mean, in a place like the States where you go and you tour for months on end, doesn't really work like that in South Africa. In South Africa, you're like
It's like more weekends, right?
almost always on tour, but you're never really off tour. You understand what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
I guess you'll always, like, your weekends will basically be away from home, but you'll never really come off and be able to come properly back into a routine for a month. Then you'll be back at home for 3-4 days, and then you'll be gone again for 3 or 2, or so it's a little bit different. It's it also doesn't really work in touring cycles. Like with the album, you'll go on tour. You'll just always kind of be on tour
throughout the year.
Yeah, and then you'll write in between. You won't really go off tour and write. You'll write while you're playing shows from a Thursday to a Sunday. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. I don't know if it's better or worse, but it's like you're always kind of on tour, and you always kind of have to be ready to go play the show. It's never like you're going on a month break. Maybe January every year is a month break, but there's never really time that you're off tour completely.
I feel like that might be better though, in a sense, because I know when you sometimes do the long tours, like the European tours for us, those can go like 6 weeks at a time, and you can quickly get burnout from that. Like
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think like the longest we've toured is maybe like a month, and in South Africa, and a month maybe in Europe in the early 2000s. And that is insane. I mean, I won't be able to do it now anymore at 45 because I've got a family. I won't travel like that. You know what I mean? I know there are people of my age that do it, but maybe that's also a comfort of South Africa, that I know in the week at least I'll be home again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
so maybe that is better. I can get into a routine for a couple of days, and I go drop the kids at school, go to their sports or whatever, and then I'll be rocking and rolling again on Friday night. You know what I mean? For us, we like the Australian tour we just did. It was like 1 week with travel included. Get there, play 3 shows, get out. You know, if we go play a couple of shows in Europe now at the end of May, it's a week and we're back at home, you know.
Are you playing next month in Europe?
Yes, yeah.
Nice. Whereabouts?
London, Amsterdam, and Ghent, Belgium. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Nice.
But we basically the tours we do internationally is basically playing to South Africans that are all over the world. So there's communities basically all over, and we go play the places where there's the most of them, and we go see them, and hopefully we go see them again in a couple of years. You know.
Do you have like when you're playing a bigger venue? Not necessarily like an arena, but just a bigger venue or an overseas venue. Do you have like your day-to-day rituals on days you play? Like, are you superstitious about things you eat or not really? You have a little routine. What's your little routine?
Yes, I really like to run when I'm on the road. That's like kind of... it's kind of a stress relief for me. Obviously, you don't really sleep properly, but I'll just force myself to go for a run in the morning, even if I've slept terribly, because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better about my life. It makes me feel like I've done something. Now I can just have a normal day on the road. You know what I mean? I don't think I've got other crazy rituals. I definitely don't eat anything that can give me food poisoning. I'll watch out for that, because that has happened before, and I don't.
Yeah, not fun.
That's very hard to play music when you've got that vibe going.
Yeah, can you imagine? God. I don't think I have any either. I think mine is just remember to drink some water throughout the day. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. If you're a singer, I mean, I don't drink that much water at home, but when I'm on tour, I drink liters a day.
Do you use the what is it called? It's like a vaporizer thing.
Nebulizer.
Nebulizer. There we go.
Yeah,
Use those
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I'm not like religious about it, but if I can feel my voice is taking a bit of strain, I would definitely nebulize with sail. I mean, whatever will get you through the show eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
whatever will help.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say is like something that you do to counteract your nerves? I mean, I guess you said you go for a run. I would assume that like levels out your thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's like the thing mainly that helps me. It's like completely the opposite of what I would have done in my 20s, you know, touring. Yeah. It's like I would never even have thought about that. You know, it wouldn't have crossed my mind that you can actually go for a run and you can exercise on the day that you're playing a show. I would never have done anything like that. And I think because it's so far removed from actually being on stage and playing music, it's like a good thing to kind of
take your mind.
Just feel like you have like some kind of balance or some kind of
normality, maybe.
Normal, yeah. That's something that's different and normal from that, so far removed. And for me, I need to talk to my family a lot, as much as I can. I know it's really hard when you're in different time zones. Like we just did like New Zealand, Australia. It's like every day is a different time zone. But like just keeping contact with them helps me a lot.
Yeah, no, I know. I think I feel the same. Sometimes it is quite difficult. Like if you have a travel day, to find the time to exercise all the space. But for me, phoning someone at home always helps. Like whether it's mom or a friend, because I think it's and not to talk about the tour, just to talk about any mundane shit, really, because it's something that just like gets your mind off the actual sort of music industry stuff. I don't know. There's something. It sounds so simple, but it's so effective. And I guess
no, I agree. Yeah. I agree. Obviously, my family, they don't even think that I'm on tour. They just know I'm away from home. They don't know what's happening and what I'm struggling with on tour. They've got their own things happening at school. My wife's got their own vibes dealing with the kids. They don't really care about my issues at that time, which is great, you know, because then I just get on with your life, you know, do the shit.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say is some sort of advice that you would give South African artists that sort of look up to you and are starting or are already in the business? What's some sort of advice you'd give them?
I would probably say work on your craft as much as you can. Possibly, if you want to be a guitar player, play the whole time. If you want to be a songwriter, keep on writing songs as much as you can. I think that doing that shit just makes you better. Work on your craft hard and surround yourself with people that you like being with. I mean, for me, I got very lucky in my life. Like a band like Fokofpolisiekar, it's the same guys for 23 years, like the same 5 guys. We still get along. We're still good mates. And, you know, the balance is just right. You know, we were friends before we started the band and now we've become kind of family. It's like that dynamic is just right. And I always say that to young bands. I always say, rather get your friend that hasn't picked up a bass that want to than the best bass player in your school. You know, get your mate to learn playing bass because you're going to spend time with those people. You're going to be married to them for some years, you want to spend time with people that you like and get along with. That makes it a lot easier. I haven't really been in a band where I despise someone and I have to be on the road with someone that I don't really like. And that sounds really hard.
Yeah, I can think of nothing worse. And I guess some people are in that situation. It's such an intimate thing.
Exactly.
Being in stage and creating art with someone, it's such an intimate thing.
And being in a band and smelling someone's feet and farts, and I mean, you got to get along with people to endure that shit.
And seeing all of the person as well, because you're like with each other so many hours that it kind of becomes difficult to mask. You see the person's good days, bad days. You quickly work out how the person's programmed. So yeah, I would say that's important. What would you say is something you would want to change in the industry if you could change some things?
Man, if I could change something, I wish social media would just die. Like fucking, I obviously I have to play the game, I guess, but I mean, like, I started playing music before there was Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, and like the world of content just drives me nuts. And like creating content to actually get your shit out there. I do it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I prefer to write the song and everyone will be able to hear it somewhere, but now you gotta find other ways to get it to people,
Yeah.
I think that kind of sucks. I don't like it, but I'll do it for the greater good of hopefully someone hearing the tunes,
Mm-hmm. It's almost like, it's funny because everyone I speak to talks about social media, whether it's musicians, photographers, any sort of creatives. And not only has it some people might disagree, but I think it's sort of, in ways, it sort of cheapens the art for various reasons. I think, there's like these trends that you see on TikTok and just the way that some people are writing music. It's almost like this thing that's instant gratification and trying to find something that would be a good 30-second hook.
Of course.
Writing something because of the way it makes you feel, or just writing what you want to make.
Yeah. If you can combine those, I guess that's the ideal. Or if you can by accident, write what you like and someone hooks in on your 30 seconds, that it becomes a trend. That's the ideal. And obviously a lot of people have done that too.
Yeah.
But to write for that 30-second hook is fucking, it sucks. It sucks that you have to think that like that.
Yeah, it's also like, I don't know if you guys have someone like helping you with your social media, but for a lot of people, it becomes almost like a second full-time job. There's so much like planning and strategy that goes into it. I find it's like it's taking the concentration and time where you could be just working,
creating music or doing something. Exactly. Yeah. I've actually had someone do social media for me years ago. And I also couldn't do that because it felt like it was someone else being my voice,
Yeah.
And I was like, don't like that. I don't actually like that. Now you like that. It's like that also kind of sucks. So now I want my social media to be me, but if I want it to be me, then I have to kind of put myself out there with it, I don't like it, but I'll do it for the greater good for sure.
I would say another one is the social media. I think is the first one for various reasons, and then obviously you have like the issues of streaming, like not getting paid enough for streaming, and the vast sort of use of AI now that we're seeing,
In South Africa, I don't know. In the Afrikaans music scene, there's a bunch of people that call themselves AI artists.
Okay.
So they completely create the song with AI and they put it out. And one of those AI artists made a very big song. That's like a massive song in Afrikaans music. I think it was like #1 on the Apple Music Afrikaans charts, and it was really big. And it's a completely AI generated song, which is terrible. So there was this massive debate in the Afrikaans music scene about like who's for it, who's against it. It was like a very big thing. Yeah. So yeah, like to me, I can't think about that as music because it's completely generated. But the people that listen to the music and don't really know that aren't musicians, that just like it because it's a song. What do you say to them? You can't really.
I was going to say
you can't really.
Topic.
You can't really judge them because they just like this. They just like a song. It doesn't matter to them that it's not connected to a person. It's just a song that they hear. Like them hearing, I guess Britney Spears or something on the radio. If you think like 20 years ago or whatever, they just hear the song and they like it. But the influence of technology in music is obviously a massive debate, and I also kind of realized that AI can be a tool, but just songs created completely through AI or remixes created completely through AI is just like something I just don't kind of agree with it, and I just want to I don't want anything to do with it. You know what I mean?
No, good answer. It's also like, it's like you say, you can use things or certain tools or whatever, but I think the problem also comes with, if you look at the younger generation, the skill of actually playing an instrument and developing your skills. And I think it goes beyond that. It's also just people skills, like the fact that when you have to create art or music, you have to interact with people and you are, you're learning all sorts of skills. It's all sorts of experiences, whereas sitting in like an isolated room on your computer, prompting something to make something, I don't know, it just like, I think it causes so many issues in the long run, besides like,
like that's not like I started playing music so I can do this with people, stand in a room and play guitars and drums and
exactly.
And we'll eventually put the song together, and eventually a month later I'll be able to listen to it in my bed. You know what I mean? Like that instant gratification of prompting and it's out there and there's your song and it becomes a hit. It's just almost like this is it just takes away the journey completely, which is why I kind of like doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, it is. It's like all the stuff sort of before that or that leads you to it. That's like the special bit, I guess. Obviously, performing it and having it well received is a whole other thing. But yeah, it's a huge issue. It's unfortunate, but I don't know how we're going to change that. It's like I feel kind of helpless.
I think what is important is that if you write original music, is that you say things that the AI won't say. I mean, if you say something that's fresh, and and that the human element is felt in your music. I mean,
Yeah.
that everything is not as perfect as an thing AI will pop out,
Yeah.
that there's just something human to it,
A little bit of
that
grace.
makes it, sets it apart.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So I have one last question for you.
Throw it at me, Megan.
What would you tell your younger self if you could go back in time? What's something you would tell your younger self?
I can't believe I can't believe I'm still alive telling you that I'm still alive.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm joking. My younger self did not think he was going to live past 30. So I think I'll tell him, don't worry, it's going to get better. It's going to get easier. Just keep on doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah, it gets easier, I think. One day at a time. I would tell myself one day at a time.
Yeah, I think like I'm not sure how old you are, Megan, but like in my 20s, my mind was completely all over the place, and it kind of with obviously a couple of changes that I've made in my personal life through the years, like I just feel a lot more at ease with who I am at 45 than who I felt or what I felt like when I was 25, I guess.
Yeah, you feel more content, more peaceful.
Definitely, for me personally, I do.
Yeah, I think for me too. I was going to say I'm not as old as you.
No one is.
But yeah, I'm 32. But I think yeah, with each year that goes by, it's like I wish I could give my younger self a hug and just be like, don't. It sounds so cheesy. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's not the end
For
of the
sure, for
world.
sure.
Just
Yeah.
one day at a time. Well, thank you so much for this chat.
Megan,
Really been
thank you, man.
It's been.
I appreciate it. You got up early for this.
I did. It's only going 7 a.m. now, so
Oh wow.
I feel good.
Thank you.
I feel, I'm on the
Well
right
done.
path of life. Thank you.
Between tracks.